Welcome back to What If Labs Space Edition. What if you kept traveling through space, farther than any human ever has, past planets, past stars, past entire galaxies, and instead of finding something new, you found almost nothing at all? No bright explosions, no swirling clouds of gas, just darkness, distance, and silence. You are entering a cosmic void. As you move through space, galaxies begin to thin out. At first, they're still there, spiral shapes glowing softly in the distance, but they're farther apart than usual. Millions of light years pass between one and the next, then tens of millions. Eventually, even those faint islands of light begin to disappear. There is no edge you cross, no sudden drop, no moment where space changes color or texture. A cosmic void doesn't feel like falling into a hole. It feels like drifting into a place where matter simply never gathered. Cosmic voids are the largest structures in the universe. Some are hundreds of millions of light years wide. Light itself would take longer than human civilization has existed just to cross one. And yet, these regions aren't rare. They make up most of the universe's volume. As you move deeper inside, something strange happens. Nothing pulls you inward. There's no strong gravity here. In fact, voids have so little mass that surrounding galaxies slowly drift away from them, drawn toward denser regions of space. Instead of falling faster, your motion becomes calmer, quieter, almost still. Without nearby stars or planets, speed loses its meaning. You could be moving incredibly fast and never feel it. There are no reference points, no up, no down, just motion through emptiness. Inside the void, space grows darker. Not because darkness is stronger, but because light is rare. There are still things here. A few stray hydrogen atoms. Invisible dark matter passing silently through. Faint radiation left over from the Big Bang, still filling all of space. But compared to anywhere else, this is one of the emptiest places that can exist. On average, a cosmic void contains less than 10% of the matter found in other regions of the universe. You are floating through a place where almost nothing happens. Time continues normally. Physics does not break. Atoms still behave like atoms. Light still travels at the same speed. This isn't a glitch in reality. It's still part of the universe. But gravity here is weaker and over enormous timescales that changes the shape of everything. As the universe expands, matter continues to clump together elsewhere, while voids slowly grow larger and emptier. Galaxies drift farther apart. The silence deepens. There is no sound here. There never could be. But in this region, the quiet feels absolute. No nearby stars forming. No supernovae lighting up the darkness. No radiation storms washing over planets. Just vast distances where nothing interrupts the stillness. Light behaves differently here, not because it changes, but because it has nothing to interact with. Photons can travel for millions of years without touching dust, gas, or stars. Cosmic voids become perfect highways for ancient light. Some of the oldest light in the universe passes through places like this right now, untouched since the beginning of time. The longer you drift, the harder it becomes to understand scale. There's no horizon, no sense of distance. Even after traveling for millions of years, the view barely changes. The human mind struggles here because we're not built to understand emptiness on this level. This isn't dramatic space. It isn't violent or chaotic. It's overwhelming in a quieter way. And then comes the realization, most of the universe looks like this. Galaxies, stars, planets, everything familiar exist in thin filaments surrounding enormous regions of emptiness. What we think of as space isn't filled with stars. It's mostly filled with almost nothing. Cosmic voids aren't gaps in the universe. They are the universe. If you could drift through the largest void of all, you wouldn't be witnessing danger or destruction. You'd be witnessing scale, a reminder that existence isn't just about what's there, but about the space that allows anything to exist at all. Galaxies form because voids exist. Structure exists because emptiness exists. The universe needs both. So if you ever found yourself in the biggest void in the universe, you wouldn't fall forever. You wouldn't reach an end. You would simply drift through the space between everything, surrounded by silence, distance, and the quiet truth of how vast reality really is. And as you continue drifting, something subtle begins to happen. Not around you, but inside your perception. Without stars to mark time, moments blur together. Seconds, hours, years, all feel the same. In a place like this, time doesn't feel like a line anymore. It feels like a still image that never changes, even though you know the universe is constantly moving. Far beyond your view, galaxies are colliding, stars are being born and dying, black holes are merging and sending ripples through space-time. But here, inside the void, none of that reaches you. You are too far away. The universe's loudest events fade into nothing before they can arrive. Gravity still exists, but it is gentle here. There are no massive objects nearby to bend space strongly. Space-time feels flatter, calmer, almost relaxed. If you could somehow map gravity in this region, it would look like a shallow valley compared to the deep curves near galaxies and clusters. Even dark matter, which shapes much of the universe, is thinner here. It flows through the void like a faint mist, barely tugging on anything at all. The structures that define the universe were built around places like this, not inside them. As you drift deeper, the darkness doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels immense. Not the absence of something, but the presence of scale. Distances so large that even light feels slow. Space is so wide that meaning itself seems to stretch. You might expect fear here, but instead there's a strange calm. Nothing is trying to pull you apart. Nothing is collapsing or exploding nearby. The void is not hostile. It is indifferent. It simply exists. And in that indifference, there's clarity. From this perspective, the universe feels less like a collection of objects and more like a process. Matter gathering, space expanding, patterns forming and dissolving over billions of years. The void isn't a mistake in that process, it's a result of it. If you could stay here long enough, longer than stars live, longer than galaxies survive, you would see the void grow. Expansion would carry everything farther apart. Distant galaxies would slip beyond visibility entirely. Their light stretched so thin it could no longer reach you. Eventually, even the memory of structure would fade. This is one possible future of the universe, a cosmos dominated by emptiness, where islands of matter are separated by distances too vast to cross. And inside that future, voids like this one would rule. Yet even then, the universe would not be truly empty. Quantum fields would still ripple quietly, particles would appear and vanish. Space itself would still hold energy. Even in near total emptiness, reality never drops to zero. Nothingness, it turns out, is impossible. Drifting through the void, you begin to understand that the universe isn't defined by its brightest moments, but by the balance between presence and absence, between something and almost nothing. Every star needs space to shine. Every galaxy needs emptiness to take shape. The void is not the opposite of existence. It's what makes existence possible. And so you continue on, not falling, not escaping, not arriving anywhere in particular, just moving quietly through the largest structures ever known, through the space between everything that ever was, is, or will be. In the biggest void in the universe, there is no ending waiting for you, only distance, only time, and the silent reminder that even in the emptiest places imaginable, the universe is still very much alive. Like and subscribe for more What If Labs.